Hey yo, it's your girl Flo back with another video. And if you're new here, hi. I hope you subscribe. So after decades of accusations, R. Kelly is facing his second trial related to his alleged SA crimes against minors. The music industry has long ignored these allegations of SA, even when Kelly was indicted on 21 counts of CP in 2002. The case took more than 5 years to go to trial, and Kelly was acquitted in 2008. He continued to perform and make music during and after that trial. R. Kelly has also settled outside of court with accusers and their families on numerous occasions. R. Kelly, 54 years old, has been accused of using his fame and power to lure and SA dozens of minors, often separating them from their families and promising to turn them into stars. This does include his 1994 annulled marriage to the late singer Aaliyah, who was just 15 years old when Kelly's team allegedly obtained a fake ID for her in order for them to marry. R. Kelly was 27 years old at the time, and that is all according to HuffPost.com. Statements from the prosecution, Judge Ann Donnelly, and Mr. Kelly's defense team, as well as charges filed against Mr. Kelly, coming up. So without further ado, let's go. On top of all of the existing charges in the federal indictments unsealed in July, prosecutors in New York now say that on August 30th, 1994, R. Kelly and his associates bribed a public officer in Illinois in 1994 to make a false ID for Aaliyah, who was a singer and R. Kelly's teenage protege. Now, court documents refer to Aaliyah as Jane Doe 1, so her identity is clear. So that very next day, Aaliyah, who was 15 years old at the time, she married him, and the marriage didn't last very long. So public allegations of Kelly and Aaliyah's marriage are not new. In December of 1994, Vibe magazine printed a copy of the marriage certificate, which listed Aaliyah's age at 18 in a piece that included rumors that Aaliyah was pregnant. And then in 2000, journalists reported on the marriage in a larger bombshell investigative story, having found court documents that showed Aaliyah admitted lying about her age. However, the criminal charge that Kelly, together with others, bribed a public official is new. So that is actually a new charge. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put on the screen here. Now, it's a lot here to read, so I'm going to break it up in probably 2-3 sections here. and I'll let it play, each section play for about maybe 5 to 10 seconds. So if you want to read all of it, and this came from the Department of Justice from the U.S. Attorney's Office. I'm going to put it up here on the screen now, and then you can pause it if you'd like to read everything here. So here is the first part, and I will be right back with you shortly. So what you just read are the initial charges against R. Kelly, and this was back in July of 2019. But in a 55-page motion that was filed this past July 23rd, prosecutors say they want to bring in additional evidence involving abuse, hush payments, unlawful imprisonment, and other crimes dating back 30 years that are directly relevant and intertwined with the evidence of the charged crimes. And one of those new charges is the male victim, the alleged male victim that spoke. He said that as a teen, he met R. Kelly at a Chicago McDonald's, and R. Kelly promised to help him with his music aspirations. Now, the judge, U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly, ruled that the alleged victim, who was 17 years old when he contends he met R. Kelly in 2006, will be allowed on the witness stand at R. Kelly's upcoming New York racketeering trial and will be identified only by his first name. The judge says, "The evidence is certainly relevant because it demonstrates the methods that were used to perpetuate the enterprise." The prosecutors have alleged that R. Kelly invited the young boy to a party at his Chicago residence shortly after meeting him at an unspecified McDonald's in the city. The boy attended the party with his parents, and then Kelly said to him, "Next time, come by yourself." And this is what the prosecutors wrote in their recent court filings. So it's said here that later R. Kelly invited the teen to his music studio under the guise of helping and mentoring him with his musical aspirations, and this is what the prosecutors have alleged. And the prosecutors also state that Kelly also asked John Doe 1 what he was willing to do to succeed in the music business, and clarified that he wanted this John Doe 1 to engage in contact with Kelly, prosecutors alleged. And with that backdrop, R. Kelly then engaged in contact with this John Doe number 1. Prosecutors said that R. Kelly also forced the boy to have sex with females, as R. Kelly videotaped the acts. Kelly's defense had resisted the government's attempt to use the witness, arguing they did not have time to properly prepare and contemplate asking prospective jurors their opinions about homosexuality. Judge Donnelly also said that R. Kelly may need to take the witness stand for the jury to hear about parts of his background that don't involve allegations against him. Now, the judge ruled last week that the public and the media will be banned from the New York courtroom after 12 news organizations asked that 6 reporters be permitted inside because watching a portion of the courtroom on monitors in 2 overflow rooms was insufficient and might not constitute an open proceeding. She cited the coronavirus restrictions. Now, as he left the courthouse this past Tuesday, a couple days ago, one of R. Kelly's attorneys, Kanek, was asked if the closing of the courtroom might be grounds for an appeal if his client is convicted. So Kanek smiled and says, "If there was a conviction, we will use every error that was made in an appeal." Opening statements are scheduled for August 18th, and the trial is expected to last at least a month. Robert Kelly, who is being held at a federal jail in Brooklyn, also faces charges in U.S. District Court in Chicago related to alleged abuse of minors, as well as separate indictments brought in Cook County. So the R. Kelly trial has begun. The jurors have been selected, and the opening statements will begin on August 18th. If you're interested in following this trial, subscribe. I'll have my jurors detailed video coming out either today or if I can't get to it today, it'll probably be sometime tomorrow. So when you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that way you won't miss any uploads. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, subscribe, stay in the know. Peace.